Hi and welcome to my maths class. Today we're going to discuss deductions. Now when you had done deductions in grade 10, we had discussed the lengths, and what we had emphasized on is that when we are working with the lengths of the y-intercept, then we take the vertical distance. If we were working on the x values, then we are usually taking horizontal lengths, and you would always take the high value minus the low value. So deductions in grade 11 work very similar, but before that you need to know things like how to get your turning points, how to get the equations of the graph. So before you start deductions, make sure that you know all the previous works covered in graphs and functions. They tell us that f of x is equal to 2x minus 2. Now we know that is a straight line, so that would refer to the following line. Then they say g of x is equal to a into x minus p all squared plus q. They are specifically talking of the parabola. Now they want the values of a, p and q. This is getting the equation of the parabola. We know the turning points are 3 and 8. We're going to substitute it in. So we have y is equal to a, x minus 3 all squared plus 8. After you've substituted p and q, you can take any point on the graph and substitute it to solve for a. So let us take the coordinate 1 and 0. In y we're going to substitute 0. In x we're going to substitute 1. This would give us minus 8 is equal to 4a. A is equal to minus 2. So what is the value of a? Minus 2. What is the value of p? P is equal to 3 and q is equal to 8. Answer the question. The next thing says if f is 2.5, so at f we have the coordinate 2, 5 and 3. So they're telling us that at f we have the following coordinates. Calculate the length of fg. In order to calculate the length of fg, I need the coordinates of g. Now the y value would be consistent because we are working with the horizontal line. So throughout this line, the y value would be consistent. So if they gave me 2, 5 and 3, then I know the y value is equal to 3. So in the parabola equation, we're going to substitute 3. We have the equation as y is equal to minus 2, open brackets, x minus 3 all squared plus 8. Substitute the y as 3. We don't know the x. The x is not consistent. So what we're doing is we're trying to solve for x. We're going to take the 8 over. So I got 3 minus 8 is equal to minus 2 into x minus 3 all squared. You must know how to solve for x. If you are not familiar with this, go over your algebraic expressions and learn your solve for x before continuing. We're going to divide by minus 2, and we're going to have x minus 3 squared is equal to 5 over 2. In order to solve, we're going to square root both sides. So we're going to have x minus 3 is equal to the positive of root of 5 over 2, or x minus 3 is equal to the negative root of 5 over 2. Taking your x over, if you take your x over here, it becomes plus. So we're going to have x is equal to the root of 5 over 2 plus 3, which is equal to 4,58. And if we're solving for x here, we're going to have minus root of 5 over 2 plus 3, which is equal to 1,42. Now we have two values, which is absolutely correct because the parabola has two ends. Remember, it's amongst the line of axes of symmetry, they would have had 2 points. Now which one am I taking? am I going to use 1,42 or am I going to use 4,58? Remember, you already have f which is 2,5. It's way past 1,42. So the value that I am looking at is 4,58. Now how do I calculate the length of fg? If I'm calculating the length of fg, it is a horizontal length, which means I'm going to work with my x values. The x of the high, which is 4,58, minus the x of the low, which is 2,5. And that will give me 2,08. So what is the length of fg? 2,08. Then they say calculate the length of DE. If I'm working with a length that is running this way, vertical, then I'm looking at the y values. Now I got the value of D. D's y value is 8. How do I get the coordinates of E? It is on the straight line. Now we have f of x is equal to 2x minus 2. When we're working with the vertical line, then we know the x value remains the same. So x is going to be 3. So I'm going to have 2 into 3 minus 2. So y is going to equal to 6 minus 2, which is equal to 4. So the coordinate of E, remember I have D's coordinates is 3 and 8. And now I have E's coordinates, which is 3 and 4. Now what is the length of DE? We're going to say top minus bottom, which is equal to 4. So the length of DE is 4 units. The next question says, calculate the length of LM. Now I'm going to try and show you a slightly different way. Why I encourage this method is because sometimes in grade 12, they're going to ask you to find maximum or minimum from the deductions. Now you can't find maximum or minimum unless you use the formulas. So when they are talking about calculate the length of LM where x is equal to 6. First, we know that the equation on the top is the straight line. So I'm going to say the straight line minus the parabola. And that will give me LM. So I'm saying the straight line minus the parabola will give me the length of LM. Now the straight line is 2x minus 2. So in this place I'm going to put 2x minus 2 minus, what is the parabola? The parabola's equation, we had calculated it as minus 2 open brackets x minus 3 all squared plus 8. Minus 2 open brackets x minus 3 all squared plus 8. So it's top minus bottom. Can you see? Would equal to LM. Now they are telling me that x is equal to 6. So to solve, I am now going to substitute. So I have 2 into 6 minus 2 minus, open brackets, minus 2, 6 minus 3 all squared plus 8. Now you could simply press it into your calculator. And you would get that it is 20 units. Now remember, you could have done it a different way. You could have said, okay, what is the coordinates of L? I know that the x is 6. How do I get y? I substitute into 2x minus 2. So I'm going to say 2 to 6 minus 2, which gives me 10. So now I have 6 and 10. Then I go to m. I know that the x is 6. How do I get y? I'm using the equation minus 2, 6 minus 3 all squared plus 8. Which will give me minus 10. So here I have the coordinate 6 and minus 10. Then you would say top minus bottom, which will give me 10 minus minus 10, which is equal to 20. Now this is a fine method and you're allowed to use it. What I am telling you is that it is encouraged that you learn this method. Perhaps in grade 11 you will not be asked about this method, but in grade 12 you would be asked in relation to its x. And then everything from here onwards is irrelevant because you need this equation to continue in grade 12. Let's go on now. Now it says, what is the domain of f of x? If you look here, it's going till forever. And if you look here, it's going till forever. But remember, domain means I'm looking at the x value. So for the x, it's going forever, and for the positive side, it's also going forever. So the domain is minus infinity to infinity. It is round brackets. When we're talking of infinity or negative infinity, remember it is round brackets. What is the range of g of x? Now g of x is the parabola. The lowest it's going is negative infinity, but the highest it's going is only till 8. Remember, I'm talking of y. When we're talking of range, we are talking of y. Again, it's going to be negative infinity, which is round brackets, and it's going till 8, which is going to be square brackets. Remember, domain is x and range is y. Thank you for watching.